Oh, hello. Thanks for listening to the Barbara Cox podcast. Today's question: what a difference can you make? I'm doing my podcast for the first time in months because I felt that I wasn't really making a difference in a lot of things that God has me to do. I felt like one less podcast, one less internet radio station, one less. I don't even want to speak that because that's just how I was feeling. But I just felt that the world has so much going out into the on the social media outlets, into the media airways, and I just felt like my podcast was just one less podcast. What difference was it going to make? But I said, and I listened to one of my previous podcasts when the question was, what is your motive? And it had to minister to me, to myself. What is your motive? If your motive, what's your motive? And my motive is simply to do what God has ordained me to do. And so I had to sit back and stand back and look and realize that it didn't matter what else was happening around me or how many other ministries or podcasts or radio, internet, or even my music ministry. It didn't matter how many more was going forward. Is what difference was I going to make in doing the things that God has ordained me to do? My uniqueness, my originality. That's what made the difference, because it's a lot going on, and it's a lot of people that needs to hear the voice of maybe one person that can make such a tremendous difference. So I have to get back on the horse and saddle up and ride and do what God has me to do. I have to get back in the race and run, because it's not given to the person that decides that they're not strong enough. It's not given to the person that thinks that they're not wise enough. No, it's given to the one that endures it to the end, the one that keeps going. Not to the swift, not to the strong, but to the one that keeps enduring. So what a difference can I make? A tremendous one. I just have to keep moving forward. And I'm glad that I can get on and show and tell my vulnerable side. I can be transparent, because I stopped thinking, oh, it's not going to make a difference. Ain't nobody listening. Nobody's being blessed by it. And then I get a message that somebody was listening. Somebody was blessed by it. And God said, get back on your podcast. Now, my internet radio, I put it on hold. But God said, get back on your podcast. I even tried not to pay for my yearly subscription, but I noticed my podcast was still on. All I had to do was push the button and start talking. When God is in it, that's all you got to do, is allow him to start talking through you. It's not your voice anyway. It's the voice of God. So what a difference can I make? What a difference can one make? You won't know if you stop. You won't know how many lives you will change if you stop. You won't know how many hearts you will transform if you stop. You won't know how many souls you can save if you stop. Oh, what a difference you are making. Just keep doing what God has ordained you to do. I'm speaking to you, and I'm speaking to myself. So today's question: what a difference can I make in a world that's saturated with so many other ministries? But then I think of that question on my previous podcast: what is your motive? And my motive is to simply do what God has ordained me to do. My heart is to simply be a blessing to someone and to save the lost souls. So what a difference can I make? I won't know if I stop. I won't know if I give up. I won't know. So I must keep moving. I must keep doing what God has me to do. I must keep praying. I must keep studying my word. I must trust God. Because I make a difference as long as I don't give up. My wings will mount up as an eagle if I keep running and I don't faint. What a difference I can make in someone's life. What a difference I can make in so many individual lives if I don't give up. So today, don't give up. I had to stand back for a moment and see just how imperative my life was and is through this podcast. So don't you give up on whatever platform God has given you. Don't give up, because you are making a difference. Just don't give up. Thanks for listening to the Barbara Cox Podcast.